If you've gone to any fast food, retail, or driven down by a business center, you would probably see now hiring signs. And you probably been hearing about the job shortage for the past year and a half now. Some will have you believe that's because people are lazy and don't want to come back to work. Well, that's not true. If you look at the latest data for December, the unemployment rate is back down to where it was of December 2019 before COVID hit. And you may wonder, well, then how are these jobs not being filled? Well, there could be multiple reasons why. One is because older generations are finally tired of working and they want more out of life. Also, another reason is just moving on. Why would I go back to a job who got rid of me so easily in one of the worst financial crises that we've seen in a while since 2008, since 12 years? Why would I go back to that job that felt I was so disposable of? Plus, at the time, they were probably making $7, $9, $11 an hour. Now, you can't go anywhere without finding a $15 hour job. Now, a side note here, to those people who said $15 minimum wage would bankrupt companies and have many companies go overseas. Why aren't they going overseas if they're paying $15 an hour anymore right now? It's because they could always have afforded to pay 15. It just means it would cut into bonuses each year. That is the reason why there was such a huge campaign against $15 an hour. It's because they didn't want to lose their bonuses or their bottom line. But now, since this job shortage happened, it has empowered workers to ask for more. Why would I work for $7.25 when I can go right down the road to McDonald's and make 15? Or why am I working at this place for 20, breaking my back, when I could go down to McDonald's and work for 15? Pay me more, I'm going there. It's supply and demand. It's capitalism. Markets decide. Now workers get to decide their wages because of this job shortage. And this has what experts have been calling for years now. Once older generations have moved out of the way, which we are seeing happening, younger generations can finally thrive because there's not so much competition in the work environment. Right now is the golden era to be a worker because you can ask for more money. Because of this job shortage, it has kind of awoken people who are working as there's more to life than a job, than a career. Look, employers want to make you think that there is only one thing, and that is working. No, there's more to life. That is why you're seeing places like the Scandinavian countries going to a 4-day work week and 6 hours a day. Because there's more to life than working. If you want to bring back family values, like I do, I want family values back. I want people raising their kids in safe neighborhoods, raising their kids in a good community. That is one way to do it. This is the time for reform. Across the stage, we need reform. To do another side note, the amount of corruption reminds me 100 years ago of the Roaring 20s when people were stuffing ballot boxes, when people were just paying out politicians. That is happening again today. Reform needs to happen. And I think it should start with jobs. Giving people more time to do more things. They can start up their side project, a little side business, a little mom and pop shops. Bring them back instead of these big, huge, bloated companies. For goodness sakes, you want to talk about something? Let's talk about healthcare. Nurses. Nurses have quit their jobs to go get hired at these traveling agencies to then go back to the same hospital to be paid more. Nurses who made $20 quit and now they're making $100 at the same hospital. Talk about how ludicrous that is. Because they just quit and went and got a different job with a temp agency to go back to that same hospital to work. The hospital could always have paid them $100 an hour, but they didn't want to. But they're willing to pay another company $100 for that same nurse. Workers should seize this opportunity to make as much as they can. And some people will say, well, that's not right. Well, we do live in a capitalist society, and the motivation is profit. So for workers, they should be milking it as much as they can, or go find somewhere else that will pay you that value. And so therefore, you should care about yourself as the line, as it comes into terms with your job and your pay. You should care about yourself, not really about the company. Because the company, as we saw in 2020, will dispose of you if it hurts their bottom line. Thank you for making it through this whole video, and I hope you have a wonderful week.